Welcome everyone. This is Kathy Larson with Departures Travel in Sydney, along with Kathy Scott, a co-owner in Sydney, as well as the owner out in Oak Bay. And we're really thrilled today to have with us the lovely Peter Nowicki from Crystal Cruises. We were just talking about this and saying what a treat it is to actually see people, because everybody's so busy right now and we don't actually get to see all of our friends in the travel business. So welcome, Peter.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
And you're going to show us the world of Crystal.
I am. Well, I have to start off with this photo because I had the pleasure of going on a cruise with you and your husband. Well, I wasn't the third wheel, but you know what I mean. We were there as a fam trip, and I love this picture because to have a clear day in Glacier Bay. I mean, look what you're wearing, Kathy. You look like you're in St. Martin or something.
I was wearing a sundress. It was a really beautiful day, and you guys were in your parkas. It's like
I was on the starboard side where it was shady and cold. You're on the port side where the sun was. So I
tell you, you go on a Crystal cruise and you immediately feel like you're on vacation. Immediately.
Well, it was so great to go on that, and also to, meet your husband and stuff like that. But I'm really just going to sort of have a conversation with you all and just sort of talk about Crystal Cruises, because a lot of people think that we're just the Symphony and Serenity are two mid-sized ocean vessels, but we're actually a little bit more. We're into the river. We also have our yacht, the Crystal Esprit. And we also have the Endeavour, which I'm going to talk about because it's very important, especially to our guests that are living over in Vancouver Island. They love yachting, they love expedition, cruising. Canadians are not necessarily tourists. Canadians are well-traveled and they look for something off the beaten path. So I have some fun itineraries I'm going to share into 2022. And what's nice about Crystal is, we're just going to announce 2023 with Symphony, but we already have the Serenity's 2023 voyages out, and we're even going to be announcing World Cruise 2024 in a couple of weeks. So that's how far in advance our guests like to book Crystal, so which is really good. But I'm going to start, Kathy squared, is on the Symphony and Serenity, because they're really our mainstay. These are our mid-sized vessels, 980 guests on the Serenity at full capacity, 848 on the Symphony at full capacity. And a ship normally that size holds around 1,800. So already you can see we have great guest to staff ratio. So lots of space, deluxe ocean view staterooms. We have veranda staterooms and suites. So we have no inside staterooms or anything like that on these vessels. And when we talk about all-inclusive convenience on the Symphony and Serenity, really important is, I always say, is we have all our alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages. And it's not always about the alcohol, although whenever I'm up island in Nanaimo, they seem to always correct me, saying it's always about, a good scotch or a Macallan, whatever, the great whiskeys and the vodkas and the tequilas. So it's really nice on Crystal. You don't have to purchase a beverage package. You don't just get beer and wine over mealtime. It's full-on open bar. Michelin-inspired cuisine. We have great specialty restaurants that are part of the all-inclusive program. Our enrichment programs on board. So if you want to learn to navigate Facebook or do some watercolor painting or anything like that, that's always included. The same with all of the fitness classes. So, yoga, Pilates, spin class, stuff like that. That's also included, so you don't have to pay anything extra. Unlimited Wi-Fi across all of our brands, Ocean, River, Yacht, and Expedition. So that's also a huge savings. Our nightly entertainment. And I even put here the golf clinics. So if you want to learn how to play golf, you can attend the golf clinics that are complimentary as well, and self-service laundry. And we even do room service and bar service in our self-service laundromats on board. I've seen it happen. Absolutely. So it's nice to have that all-inclusive convenience. When you're on the two vessels, up to 11 dining venues. 10 of them are on the Serenity, 10 of them are on the Symphony because we don't have the Supper Club. As you can see, it's a Crystal Serenity exclusive. But with all of our brands, Ocean River Yacht Expedition, we include 24-hour complimentary room service. That's also really important as well. So as you know, we got to experience this type of accommodations, Kathy, and the outdoor dining at Silk, Nobu. We have Nobu, Umi Uma. We're the only cruise line to have Nobu's restaurant on board at sea, where we've had that for many years. We love working with him. His food is spectacular. Have you ever eaten at a Nobu on land? It can go up to about $200-300 a person, say in Vegas, or if you're in LA, even in Toronto as well. So that's our ocean vessels right there. I'm going to move forward and go to our Crystal Endeavor, which is our expedition vessel. And really, a lot of people kind of ask me, what really is expedition cruising? And typically, it's smaller, intimate ships. They're usually more adventurous itineraries. For example, you know, we do the Arctic and the Antarctic, but we have to get to both of those places. So we'll try to do some west coast of Africa, maybe Cape Town to Dakar, but then we may do a Dakar to Malaga or a Malaga into Bordeaux, which we're doing in 2022. So some of them are expedition, adventurous itineraries, and some of them are not. So we sort of have a little bit of both. Remote bucket list destinations, and we also like to make the itineraries flexible for any last minute changes in terms of sea life or wildlife or the sea conditions, and that normally happens in our Arctic and our Antarctic voyages as well. We have our Zodiacs, and again, it's all about experiencing the destination. So there'll be numerous lectures on board with our scientists and our naturalists. So this is the vessel. It's 206 crew members and 200 guests. So it's a great guest to staff ratio. Of course, when we're sailing in the Antarctic, we only sail with around 199 because you get better placement when you're in the Antarctic. But it's the same type of all-inclusive convenience that you would get on our mid-size vessels than exactly on our Endeavor. So all your alcohol, non-alcoholic beverages, your Michelin-inspired cuisine, Umi Uma, Prego, all your shore excursions are included on our yacht and expedition. We also have your water toys, so your kayaks, your paddle boards, your snorkeling, all that stuff is included. All staterooms and suites, well, it's an all-suite vessel, are butler service. So your butler is included. Yes, Kathy?
I just wanted to clarify, what do you mean by better place?
It depends if there's cruise ships that are in expedition vessels that are over 200, like 200 to 500. When you're under 200, you get better placement in the Antarctic, closer to land for easier Zodiac water landings. So butler service, the prepaid gratuities. So all your gratuities are always included on all of Crystal's products. And the gratuities even cover your butler service as well. So there's no need to tip extra for your butler. Unlimited Wi-Fi, and it's a really great win for anybody who wants to try some expedition cruising. So when you're on board, you have 8 unique dining venues, and that does always include the complimentary room service as well. So Bistro, Marketplace, Waterside, Prego, it's all similar to our Symphony and Serenity ships. So we like to keep the names, you know, synonymous across all of our brands. And really it's about cuisine, you know, all of our vessels, it's open seating dining, so you can decide who you want to dine with, when you want to dine with. You know, you're not regimented to a time as well. This is Umi Uma. You'll see the Umi Uma restaurant, and then the sushi bar, which has a great floor-to-ceiling windows. As you're watching them create the sushi, you can sit and overlook the ocean. And then again, about meeting and greeting other guests as well. Really enjoying Crystal Cove, which has a big wall of LED TVs that will show any exciting stuff under the water, on land with our cameras, and we'll be able to display it in the Crystal Cove internally as well. We have a solarium with a pool, so it can be utilized, in the Arctic and the Antarctic as well, which is always nice. And then, of course, we're going to have our Crystal Life Spa on board this endeavor as well. Multiple lounges. I love the one on the top left, the Captain's Lounge, where you can overlook the bridge, so you can sort of watch them as well. And we have a helicopter lounge. We have 2 helicopters on board, a library and pantry, and an expedition lounge. And of course, our famous Palm Court. And this is where we'll do a lot of the lectures, dancing in the evening, just a real social get together on board the Endeavour. And then we'll have mudrooms. We'll have a starboard side mudroom and a port side mudroom for our guests for easy access on and off the vessel. We'll have both sides that will be able to facilitate the Zodiac landing, so guests don't have to wait. But I love these mudrooms because they have the heated poles for your boots. So you can, if you come and do an excursion and you come back, we've got the attendants there to clean your boots, put it on your locker on the heated poles. So if you turn around and go out an hour later, you'll have nice warm boots that are nice and clean as well. So we've got a mudroom. And let's go on to the accommodations. So all suite, all veranda, all butler serviced, only 100 suites on board. So we'll look inside the Endeavour suites, and we even have heated cupboards. So the heated cupboards in each suite is where you can hang your parkas. When you're on an Arctic or Antarctic, you'll get a complimentary parka to use, and you'll be able to, because if it's impromptu excursions, right? If you come off of a morning excursion and then an hour later they see whales or whatever, you may turn around and go right off in a Zodiac, so you can just grab your parka out of the heated cupboard. It's all nice and warm. I'd put all my clothes in that, I'll tell you. I think it's a really neat feature. This is sort of where we go in 2021 for the Crystal Endeavour. Just sort of giving you, I love maps, as you can tell, my map behind me, but I love maps. I like to know where I'm going or where I want to go. And you can sort of see the expedition and non-expedition routes. But I want to highlight just a few itineraries that I think are really neat. And Japan is, Japan was really hot for us, obviously in 2019 and 2020, and it's still going to be very popular for 2021. And you can see this is an in-depth Tokyo to Osaka, which is wonderful. And again, all your excursions are included. And again, you're traveling with only 200 guests. From there, we do Osaka to Otaru, which is a great little fishing town known for its Venetian glass, believe it or not, in Japan. But this is where it gets exciting for us on the West Coast. You'll see it's going Otaru to Anchorage, and this is in 2021. And from Anchorage, we're going to head to Vancouver, and we're going to do an 11-night round trip, which is great for the drive market or for the people coming over on the ferry from the island. And so this is where it's doing some, unique little itineraries and 11-nighters. I love doing 9 and 11-night cruises because I always say 7 nights is so short. So I always think 9 and 11 nights are quite enjoyable. And this is where I tell my local market here where I live, you can actually sail from Vancouver to the Antarctic on one voyage. And it's a combination of a few voyages. And I'll show you how it goes. So we go Vancouver to Anchorage, and we even go to places like Cake in Alaska. And then from there, we're going to go into Russia, entire Russia. And that is a 14-night. And then
for the, I'm just like pointing at this one, for the amount of people that, the amount of stops that you do along here is amazing.
Yes, yeah, it's fantastic, and a lot of them, the excursions will be Zodiac landings, wilderness adventures and stuff like that. So still in the making, but it's going to be exciting. And then from there, we're going to head through the Northeast Passage to Norway, and you can sort of see this itinerary as well. And after Tromsø, it's going to head into London. And then it will do London to Lisbon, and then it does Lisbon to Rio de Janeiro, and then Rio de Janeiro to Ushuaia. And this is where we're going to facilitate 3 round trip Ushuaia 11-nighters to the Antarctic. And then we have one Christmas, New Year's 15-nighter Antarctic holiday expedition for 15 nights. So some really neat itineraries. And, you know, we do have some great, like I was saying, after that, the vessel will then go to Cape Town and to Ghana, Senegal, and then it's going to do some really unique itineraries where we're going to sail right into Sevilla, Malaga, right into London. We're doing some Iceland, and it's all the information is on our website, so they can view the itineraries right up to the end of 2022. So some really unique and exciting itineraries. And I'll pose the question to you both, Kathy. You sell a lot of expedition cruising, whether it's, you know, or expedition trips, whether it's on land with some of your great suppliers that you do, or on cruises, right? And especially the Victoria market, the Vancouver Island market, they love that. They like something different, correct? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so. So another product that has been really popular with Crystal, is probably one of our highest rated product, is the little Crystal Esprit. So if you think 200 guests is too big, well, I'm going to introduce you to a 62 guest yacht, the Crystal Esprit. And here I go with my maps. And she's going to be doing some fun itineraries, Venice to Dubrovnik, and then Dubrovnik to Athens. So you can either do a 7 or combine a beautiful 14-day voyage. Then in November, December, we bring her to the Emirates. So we sail out of Dubai. And then in January, we sail her over to the Seychelles, where we facilitate 3.5 months of cruising in the Seychelles, which the Seychelles has approved us for next year, because they don't allow any cruise ships in there, but this is really a yacht. This is, you know, smaller than some of the hotels there. So I had an opportunity not to sail in the Seychelles, but I did do a 10-night round trip to Dubai. But this is also the vessel that does Israel and Egypt. Really some unique itineraries. I mean, could you imagine, you know, going from Limassol to Aqaba, Jordan, and hitting the Holy Lands on a yacht. So it's a really great experience. This is the Seychelles, the yacht coming into the Seychelles, and it really is crystal casual, because this is all about yachting. It's not necessarily ocean cruising. And 31 suites, so at maximum capacity is 62 guests. And it's exactly like what I talked about on the Endeavour. It's all butler serviced. It's all-inclusive convenience. So everything is included, alcohol, non-alcoholic, 24-hour room service. It's casual attire, which is great. The Canadian markets, we love that. And open seating as well. The marina deck is really exciting because we offer the free jet skis, the free kayaks, the free snorkeling, the free paddle boarding, and along with your free airport transfers and your free shore excursions, it's really a win-win for the Canadian market. So if guests really want to know how much this is going to cost before I go, and I'm not going to get nickeled and dimed when I'm on board and have to pay a hefty fee for alcohol or something, it's all taken care of, which is really nice. We even have a submarine, and you can see that in that picture, the little red thing, and they're getting ready to deploy it as well. So the submarine is at an extra cost, and we even do night dives for that as well. And the submarine is not always deployed in certain areas. So we really don't know if the rules and regulations change in certain areas. For example, when I was in Dubai doing, you know, Oman and Qatar, they didn't deploy any of the marina deck for security reasons, which makes sense. But in the Seychelles, it's perfect for that. So when you look at our Seychelles itinerary, you may see we're at Curious Island from say 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. And then at 1 p.m. we'll yacht over to the other side of the island where we can drop the marina deck and get the jet skis out because they allow all the motorized water sports there as well. So when you look at the accommodations, this is the owner suite. We have one of them. It's 515 square feet. So like all of our river and our expedition, they all come with iPads in the stateroom, so you can to your emails. You can book complimentary excursions right off your iPad. You can adjust the lighting in your stateroom off your iPad, or you could just set it to be a clock on your bedside table. But it has a separate dining, living area, bedroom, and a beautiful bathroom as well. And then the rest are our yacht suites, which are S1, S2, S3, and S4, and they're 280 square feet. And then we have two S4s at 223 square feet. So really, really nice king beds, very, very roomy, 280 square feet. It was fantastic. And I just wanted to throw in some photos. The Crystal Casual, you can see, that's Captain Nanat, who is actually on the Symphony now, doing a renewal of vows. And you can see them in the Seychelles with our executive chef, Adam Jenkins, there on the right, with some of the crew doing the caviar and the shrimp and the lobster in the Seychelles. I took this photo off of Serbani Yas Island in the Emirates. It was, we were anchored there, we went off, and then this is just before we were sailing away. And this is the pool on board. So it's not a huge pool, but it's a great pool to brag on social media that every day you swam 65 laps in the pool. But it is a nice, I did. And I didn't spill my drink once. So but it's nice. And right above the pool is a big outdoor theater screen. So we'll do movies under the stars, and we'll play some sporting events up there, and we bring out popcorn and of course the all-inclusive service of the drinks flowing. It's really a wonderful atmosphere, especially in the Seychelles when it's so warm at night. This is, I had Clark, my butler, and I had 2 stateroom attendants. Absolutely incredible service, gracious service, never pretentious on any of our brands. We're really known for the service. And then I love this photo. Every night you've got our staff captain with the tambourine, and then our chief engineer and our excursion manager, and that's Mark Ferris. He was on board. He was the piano player, so he would get everybody going every night in the cove, which was exciting. And before you know it, you'll have a tambourine in hand and you're singing along with all the other guests. And what I love about this, because Crystal really is an international cruise line, we have guests from all over the world. This product really gets a lot of guests. You get, I think we were the only Canadian on board. There was another American couple, but everybody was from all over the place. We have people from Switzerland, from Singapore, India, Australia, New Zealand, Norway, the UK. So it really adds to the fun on board. And with 62 guests, you just have such a good time. It's like cruising with family. It's really a wonderful experience, and it's quite popular with the Canadian market. We're doing very well with this, wanting something a little bit different as well.
And I wanted to say, Peter, that and I'm glad that you mentioned it. When you hear butler and all of these other words, you feel a bit nervous about going on, but it really was not pretentious at all. And
no,
just so relaxing, and they just did everything so quietly that you were just on vacation. You didn't have to think about anything, literally.
Well, they have, like, even on the Esprit, they have a self-service laundry. It's a cupboard, so you go in there. And I was doing some laundry, and the stateroom attendant on the right there, she says, I put it in. She goes, I'll take care of it. And I'm like, oh, well, it's got, my dirty clothes in there and all that. So I started it, and I was sitting up by the pool and then went down to pull it out, and she had put it in the dryer and folded it all, and it was sitting on the bed. They do little things. Like, a lot of people will say, oh, I don't know what I would use a butler for. And on a river, it's all butler service as well. Well, let me tell you what you use a butler for. They unpack and they pack your luggage. They help you with any dining reservations. They can help you facilitate any excursions on board. But even on our river, which I'm going to talk about next, the butler was so amazing that he knew exactly when we were coming back. Like, they know when you're back on board. And, the minute I'm just taking my shoes off and going to lay on the bed, because it was a busy day of excursions. I did 2 excursions that day, and the doorbell ring. And here's the butler with his Macallan neat, his espresso martini, shrimp cocktails, and a charcuterie plate. right there. Like, I mean, they just really anticipate your need. I mean, it was fantastic. And he's like, I'll bring you a refill in 15 minutes. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds great. You know, so that's what I use the butler for. You know, and if people don't want to use them, they'll know and just let them know. But, you know, all the gratuities are included for the butler as well. So I'm going to finish off with River because it is also an important product in Western Canada and all of Canada for that matter. But really with our all suite, all balcony, all inclusive, we're really trying to do something that's unregimented, you know, upscale, casual. It's all about the cuisine on board. And again, the service. So we only have our 4 vessels, the Crystal Bach, Mahler, Ravel, and the Debussy. You can tell we love our composers at Crystal. But we really only just sail the Rhine, the Moselle, the Main, and the Danube. That's really all we are. And we just try to do the best that we can in this area. And I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to talk about the top 10 reasons I think to sail on Crystal River. And the number one is twice the number of crew per guest. So we have 106 guests and 69 crew members on board. So we have an incredible guest to staff ratio. The vessels are the same length as everybody else, but we're only at 53 suites, which is fantastic. So it's really great service, personal service. You're greeted by name. They're really great at remembering your name. And a real bonus here is they are all Crystal employees. We don't outsource our employees on our river. They are Crystal employees. So it really does make a difference. And here's a wonderful shot of them getting ready. They're wearing the denim. It's very casual on there. They're wearing the denim aprons, ready to welcome guests into the waterside dining. The second is the Michelin-inspired cuisine. We call it prepared a la minute. Really, the guests anticipate each meal because it really is an experience. I mean, you eat dinner, you know, for that experience. I mean, obviously, if we're hungry as well, but it's a really great experience. And it kind of goes hand in hand with number 3. It's flexible open seating, so you can dine when and where you want and with whom you want. You don't need to make any reservations. So if you want to eat dinner at 9 o'clock or 8:45 or at 8:30, you just need to go in and we can get you a table of 2, a table of 4. So it's really great. You're not on top of each other. So it's like eating in a Michelin restaurant on board, which is wonderful. Number 4, I have plus a 24-hour room service. Number 4 is also important to the Canadian market is king-size beds. Not a lot of river companies have king-size beds. So we've done that. You can see the panorama windows with the screens that turn into an all balcony, which is really nice. So it's awesome to have that king bed. Here's another shot of the stateroom as well. And number 5, for any guests that are looking for larger staterooms, we do have our Crystal Suites. We have 2 of those as well, but the average square feet of our staterooms are 253 square feet. Majority of our staterooms are 253 square feet. You know, 2 sinks in the bathroom, big stand-up shower, heated towel racks, heated floors, all the amenities. But they think of everything, 2 hair dryers, 1 in the desk in case someone's in the bathroom, USB plugins, the iPads, walk-in closets, Nespresso machines, stocked bar. And then you just tell them if you want a couple bottles of wine, do you require maybe a bottle of tequila in there, whichever you want, and then they'll be able to facilitate that for you as well. And then we get to number 6, we talked about this, the butler. So again, the unpack evening canapes. So it's really nice to have that extra service, and why not, right? I mean, you could have the service at you know, like we have a promo right now in 2021 we have about 70 river voyages. It's $36.99 per person for a 7-day river voyage. And that does include your butler service, which is great. Number 7, so some of the most spacious ships, you'll see 106 guests, you'll see the ship length. compared to everybody else. So we are carrying about 45% fewer guests on board. So it does give that sense of space, especially which is coming in the future with cruise travel. So it's good for us. We'll be able to facilitate that. And also number 8, an abundant choice of shore excursions in every port. So we have, up to 30, if not more, complimentary shore excursions on a 7-night Danube River cruise. Which is nice. And number 9, the shore excursions are facilitated on our own Crystal motor coaches, 42 seats, Wi-Fi on board, bottled water, and the motor coaches follow you along the cruise, so you have a better connection with the driver, which is really nice. And yeah, it's kind of it's all about the service with Crystal, even on our excursions. And the last one, the youngest ships in the industry. So you can sort of see we're the most technologically advanced. Everything on the top deck is hydraulic. So when you come under low bridges, the bar will go into the ground. And so it's really, it's a wonderful, wonderful way to travel and to see the great rivers of Europe. Any questions from the two Kathys? No,
When
okay.
can we go?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to just finish off because we're at the half-hour mark and just sort of talk about Crystal Confidence and sort of what we're doing. So we came up with on the Crystal Confidence, we updated it in June 8th due to everything that's happening. And we have a program, it's called Crystal's New Easy Book for reduced deposit and no admin fees for 2021, 2022, and 2023. So the deposit is only 15% instead of 25%. It's fully refundable, especially if you need to cancel prior to the cancellation schedules. The admin fees are also waived, so you'll get those refunded as well. And then we also have what's coming on right now in hope that we will be cruising whenever we can get cleared and into next year. We have created the Crystal Voyage Assurance. And basically what it is, it's an added layer of assurance in case something does happen just prior to guests leaving on a cruise. So for example, it's good for new and existing bookings. So if you've booked somebody last year for January 2021, we've included this program. And basically what it is you can get a 100% refund of the cruise fare and port charges if we change the embarkation or disembarkation and more than 30% of the altered itineraries. I mean, we will do our best to substitute it, but if for some reason it's say prior to departure and we've had to change ports due to any type of a circumstance, we can give your clients the option to cancel.
I think that's a huge benefit.
Right, and we're doing it right up until currently right now from the fall, November, because we do have some Caribbean voyages that we're hoping to go, but if not, it goes right into April of 2021 as well. So, and what we'll do is we'll give you 7 days to work with your guests to decide what they want to do, if they want to cancel and get a refund, or if they want to move it to another booking. Maybe they want to do something similar in 2022. We can just move it over and do that as well. And we do have a couple promos coming up, best available suites. This is coming in January 2021. And we have 3 itineraries that we're doing. You can get penthouses for $39.99, $49.99, deluxe ocean view staterooms at $19.99. So we're just sort of seeing, hopeful that things will be getting better and we'll be back on the water soon. And we also have best available suites on our river for 2021 as well. And all of this is on our website under special offers or Departures Travel. Of course, they have the first hand of all of this as well. And you can just sort of see some of that. So I don't need to go into details, but you can view that on the website. And last but not least, I always want to say it's fun. We have this program, it's called Crystal at Home. And, we got a lot of diehard Crystal clientele, Crystal Society members who love Crystal and they miss cruising. So we created this Crystal at Home a couple months ago. And every week we highlight a destination. So you can see the week of June 8th, We will do like a storyteller, pantry prep. And then on the pantry prep, we have John Ashton on Sunday that will cook, and you can cook along. This one, he's making a blueberry lemon cake. We have Friday nights at the Galaxy, so we'll do these live performances as well. We'll do our drink of the day, and you'll learn how to make the drink of the day, and you can follow this along on Facebook, which is really kind of fun because it's sort of, we're trying to sort of engage our Crystal Society guests to, you know, almost cruising while they're sitting at home, which is kind of nice because we miss them. We miss our family on board, and we miss having everybody on. It's our 30th anniversary this year. 30 years. And I always say, keep calm and cruise on. As my senior vice president of sales always says, this too shall pass. And we just need to just sort of brace. I don't have to tell you. But yeah, so it's exciting. And that's basically the world of Crystal with our 3 brands.
That was really fun, Peter. It's always wonderful to listen to you. I could listen to you talk all day about Crystal. And one thing that we did chat a little bit about earlier was the fact that Crystal, just by the very nature of the way it's designed, is a perfect product for post-COVID because it already is, social distancing is the norm. You have so much space already.
Correct. And that's
person.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we're doing. Even next year, 2021, we're not selling to full capacity. We're capping it off at 70, I believe at around 75% capacity, just because we don't know what the rules and regulations will be, but we're already at a good situation. You know, for example, we don't really have buffets for dinners, and, you know, we do have buffets for breakfast and lunch, but if it has to be served, it's very easy for us to do it because we do have the space. We have the space in our restaurants. We have space in our specialty restaurants as well. So we're currently working on a post-COVID plan that we're going to be announcing and stuff like that. So
yeah, you can just see with Crystal, it will be really well done. And you know, even the way it was sitting before all of this happened, you guys were just really well positioned for something like this to still be able to keep going. So I know my experience on board was fantastic. I took a group of women a couple of years ago, including my mom, and she loved it. And definitely will be back. So
yes,
really
I hope
enjoyed
so.
that. Yeah,
I know Kathy and I had to cancel our trip this fall. People are going to think you and I travel with your husband. I really don't. Like, you were on a different one. I was on the Athens to Dubai for 16 nighters. So, and you were on the Holy Land, right? So
Yeah.
maybe next year. Yeah.
well, thankfully there's always another year, but
Yes.
yeah, I mean, there's you know, all of our clients and certainly all of our team are all very disappointed travelers this year. But one thing we do know, and again, we were talking about this earlier, Peter, is that there's a huge pent-up demand for travel. People that travel will always travel. People that cruise will always cruise. And there will be less capacity because they're going to be reducing. So I think there's so many great promotions out there right now. It's a perfect time for our clients to actually book, and because they are being protected by companies like Crystal, they can do that with confidence and know that their money isn't going to be tied up or taken away from them if they can't.
That's why we created that Crystal Confidence policy, just because, you know, I think we were already having a great 2021 and 2022 booking season, and now we've moved a lot of 2020 over to 2021, so there's even less capacity available to sell. So it's like for me in Canada, the bookings for 2021, 2022 are quite healthy. So, you know, it's, if you have anybody that's interested, it might be a good idea with the Crystal Confidence policy to talk to you. And yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. Well, thank you again, Peter. Much appreciated, as always. And for everybody that's on our call today, we thank you for watching us on our Departures Lounge show. And next week, Thursday, 4 o'clock, same time, Pacific Standard Time, is going to be Eva with Azamara Cruises. So
my best friend. I love Eva. Yeah. We did shows together.
Yes.
Yeah, she's great.
She is a lovely, lovely woman. So we're looking forward to having her back. And Peter, we look forward to seeing you on the next time.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Peter.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.